Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppence and thank you very much for joining me today. Now today's project is not applying the decoration to this candle. This was something that I did in a video recently, and during the course of that tutorial I said that I probably needed to make some boxes to keep the candle in and also to keep the stone coaster that I also decorated in. So today's project is the first of those boxes, and it's a box to fit this candle. So stay with me and I will show you how I made it. I measured the candle, and to fit it I need a box that has a base that's 3 inches square and is about 4.5 inches tall when finished. So that's quite a big box. So I've taken a piece of 12 by 12 inch card and I've cut it so that it's 12 inches by 11.5 inches, and I'm going to score it at 3 inches, 6 inches and 9 inches. And at this point you are probably thinking, she has lost the plot because she can't close that box. There's no extra flap bit, but stick with me, trust me, all will be revealed. Okay, so I'm going to turn it round. So I'm now at the 11.5 inch piece, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch and 3.5 inches. And to save myself trying to do complicated sums, I'm going to turn it round and we're going to do the same on this side. And so 3 inches and 3.5 inches. So that's my scoring done, so I can put my scoreboard away. Okay, so I'm going to bring my so now I'm going to burnish my folds. I'm going to remember to do that before I do my trimming today, because I usually forget. And looking at my 1/2 inches. And actually I've just realised that I didn't need to score the 1/2 inch on this size, but never mind, not to worry. Okay, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to do some cutting. So I'm going to cut up as far as this line, all the way along here, and that is going to be the base of my box. So that's going to go like that. Okay, and this is going to be the top of my box. So that is going to be the front of my box. So I want to leave this piece with the extra bit on. Okay, and this piece I'm cutting down about halfway. I am when my scissors cooperate with me. And something here. And I'm going to cut that down about halfway, and I'm going to take this piece off. So my box is going to be, that's going to be the front of the box. So for the base, I actually didn't need these pieces, so I could have made my, I could have cut my card 1/2 inch shorter. And I am going to leave all of these, I'm going to leave all of these flaps on because the candle is quite heavy and I want a nice sturdy base to my box. So at this point, you're probably wondering how I'm going to get all of that to stay together. And all will be revealed in just a moment. So there is the basis of my box, and this is how I'm going to put it together. I have a piece of real red, which is 1 inch by 4.5 inches, and I've scored and folded it at 1/2 inch, and I've gone and put tear and tape onto the onto this side of it, and I'm just going to snip the corners, and I'm only going to put this on one edge to begin with because I've got more to do before I want the box to stick up all together. But this is what I will do. This is what I'm doing. So I'm going to line the seam up with the edge of my card, just like that. And there you go. That will now stick onto that, and I will have a box with 3-inch sides. To decorate the front of my box, I have 4 pieces of floral boutique paper, and they are cut to 2 3/4 inch by 4 inches, and I've got 1 piece which is 2 3/4 inch square, and that's going to go on the lid. And I'm going to apply these to the front panels of the box using snail. And I'm not 100% sure. Actually, maybe I could have left these to be a little bit longer, but yeah, do you know what? Never mind. It's a design choice. Everything's a design choice. And I don't know what's going on outside my living room window today, but it's really noisy out there. So when I edit this in iMovie, I will hope that the background noise reduction feature is working well. And I want to make sure that that is going in the same direction. I don't want it that way. I love this paper. I think it is so pretty. And actually, if I turn that way, I think they will match up. They don't have to. Obviously they don't have to. But it looks good if they do. Do you think? Okay. Right, now I've come in with my scissors and I've taken some slivers out of these edges, just so that it all fits together nicely, and I think I'm going to do the same along this top edge here. And yeah, and can you see I've just trimmed those down a little bit, and I think I'm going to give these here a little bit of a haircut as well. And there we are. And I think when I bring all of that together, that will work quite well for me. Before I forget, I'm going to cut a little notch to make it easier to open this box. So I've marked halfway, which is 1.5 inches on that panel. I've got a 3/4 inch circle punch here. A 1 inch would be just as good, and you could probably get away with a 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to snip that little part out there, because that will make it much easier to open the box a bit later on. Alright, now turn this over because I am going to do some measuring, and I'm going to line my fancy ruler up. I'm going to use it that way round because I want to measure a spot that is 1 inch from where the top edge of the box is going to be, and about 1 inch down. So I'm going to make a pencil mark there. Okay. Right. Got my piercing tool, and I'm going to pierce through that hole. And now I'm going to fold that panel of the box up, and I'm going to pierce through that same hole again. And now I'm going to fold the box over, and that's the one that I measured first of all, and that's the one that I made by using that as my template. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 little holes on the panels of my box, and they should all be nice and even. This is the craft rope trim, which is in the autumn winter catalogue, and I want a length that's about 1.5 times, so about 18 inches and a little bit more. So I've cut a piece that's roughly 20 inches, and again, it doesn't really matter if it's too long, but you wouldn't want it to be too short. And this stuff is absolutely gorgeous. You think that it's going to be like hairy and rough and stiff, and it's not. It is so soft. It's a bit like extra thick baker's twine. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now I've also cut 3 pieces of real red. Well, actually I cut 4, but one's gone AWOL, but I only really need 3 pieces anyway, and they're 1/4 inch by 1.5 inches, and actually they're offcuts of the bits of card that I cut out from there. So you see, waste not, want not. So I've also got my mini glue dots, and you all know how much mini glue dots and I love each other, and that is not at all. So I'm taking a bit of my card and I put a glue dot there at the end, and I'm going to wrap the real red card around my craft rope trim, and I want it loose enough so that it will move up and down so that I can move it. So I'm going to do the same with the other 2. Come on, glue dot. Do you know what? Glue dots and I are not friends. We really aren't. Fast fuse is no problem at all, but glue dots do not like me. Right, and I'm not worrying too much at this stage about the placement. That'll come in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to close the card around it because that seems to work better. There we go. Fan-dabby-dozy. Right, I'm leaving my 2 ends. I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to go all the way around the card, and it's going to finish up here, and I'm going to put a sentiment over the top of that. So that's why I'm not worrying about the fact that the cord holders, as I'm calling them, are not behaving themselves. So at this point I need to close up the box. Okay, there we go. Right, so this is the front of the box. So the first of my loops, again a glue dot, and I'm going to put it right underneath the little hole that I've made, and here goes the first of my tabs. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing for the next one. So the glue dot is right up against the hole that I pierced, and you'll see why I want that hole in just a moment. That goes around to there, and then the third one. Along to there, and that is it. And so the two ends will come round to the front there, and in a little while I'm going to decide just how much of this rope I want, but for now I'm just going to leave things as they are, and I'm going to do the next part of it. I have some paper fasteners here, and I'm deliberately saying paper fasteners rather than brads because I got these in the stationery department of Amazon. So they're not designed for craft, they are designed for office use, but you know what, they work the same way. So they're quite large compared to a craft brad, they're absolutely enormous, and I'm just going to push that through and open up the little leggies inside. So the idea is that it looks as though the brad is holding the strap on. And repeat all the way around. There they are. I want a little something to go on the front of the box, so I'm going to be using this stamp from the Badges and Banners stamp set, and I've already got it mounted up on my clear block. I have a little scrap of Whisper White, and I have Night of Navy ink, and I'm just going to ink up my stamp, and I'm going to press that down onto the Whisper White, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's upside down, but never mind. I'm just going to stamp a quick clean with a baby wipe and put away the ink, because otherwise I will put my hand in it. And I have a 1 3/8 inch circle punch, and this fits that image with just a teeny tiny little bit left over. So if I punch that out, I now have a punched disc to go onto the front of the box, and I've already punched out a 1 3/4 inch circle of real red. I'm just going to layer these up. So I think I will layer this onto this with snail, because I will want to put some dimensionals on the red piece, so that my rope trim can go underneath it. Okay. Alright, so there we have it. Let me bring back my box. Now I've arranged my rope trim, and I'm holding it down with a piece of just a little piece of tear and tape, and I'm going to put dimensionals. Now make sure I'm holding this the right way up, because otherwise it will be very wrong, and I want to put the dimensionals just on the outer sides so that they fit over the rope trim, just like that. Okay, so I think I can go ahead and do this now. I may regret it later, and I may as well take the backing off the tear and tape anyway, because it will help to hold everything in place. So away you come, and I get the backings off the dimensionals, and I shall fit that into place, trying to center it. And there it is. I could just close up the bottom of my box and put the candle inside and it would probably be fine. But because the candle is quite heavy, I want to give it a little bit of support while it's standing around in the box. So I have cut a piece of card that is 4 inches square and it's real red. And I'm just going to score at the 1/2 inch mark on all 4 sides. Remove that out of my way and bring in my snips, and I'm actually going to remember to burnish before I cut, just for once. So I'm just going to burnish down my edges. So that is now going to make a little platform, or it will once I snip in to the edges here. And I'm just cutting a little slice out of the side that I cut, because that way I'm not trying to make 2 pieces of card be in the same place, which is physically impossible, and you will get trouble if you try to do it. I want to cut a circle out of here so that the candle will fit in. If I bring the candle back, and I'm going to use the layering circles dies, and I have discovered that this one, which is the second to largest, is a good fit for the base of my candle. So I'm going to put that one into the middle of my card, and I'm going to go cut it out on the Big Shot, and I will be right back. And I'm back, and there is my circle all cut out, and the candle should just fit inside it, and it does. And I can't remember now what size I told you this piece of card was, but doesn't matter what I told you before, because I've got a feeling I told you the size wrong, but it is 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, just need to stick this all together, and I'm going to use fast fuse. So just make sure I've got some fast fuse on the roller, and at the moment I haven't, so there we go. Click. I don't know what's the matter with the fast fuse at the moment, because it's just not cutting properly. And click, that's better. Now the trick, as I've said before on many occasions, the trick with fast fuse is a light touch, because it's very sticky and it'll stick to your card straight away without much in the way of pressure, and that quick flick to cut the tape at the end. So I'm just folding in my corners to make a platform to go onto the inside of my box, and if I bring that back in, that should fit quite nicely. It does bow out a bit, but I'm not bothered about that, because that's going to be on the inside, so it's not going to be widely visible, but it's a snug fit, which is what I'm concerned about. And actually I don't think that's going to need anything in the way of adhesive, so happy days. Okay, so now I'm just going to close it all up. So this is the front of the box, so this flap is going to go down last, and I've already put 3 rows of tear and tape on it, because as I have said, I want this to be a very secure box. So I'm going to close that flap and that flap and that flap, and then I'm going to take the backing off of the tear and tape. Come on, here you go. I didn't want to come. Make sure everything is nice and square, and close it all up. And I want to do one more finishing touch, and I've already done it on this one. I just got corner rounder, and I'm just rounding off the edges of these flaps, and that's not essential, but it does give it a nice professional appearance. So come on, this is now the acid test. Does the candle fit? And it does. Look at that. And there it is. So there is the finished box, and it's nice and sturdy. Candle is nice and safe inside, and I hope that you've enjoyed this project, and if so, I would really love it if you would give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment. I've got a blog, I've got a Facebook page, and you can find the details of how to get there and how to get to my Stampin' Up shop in the more information box that is below this video. I will be posting more videos soon, but for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.